Greetings, Marsh here, and welcome to episode 91 of my modded Factorio playthrough. There's actually some other non-blueprint items in here. First, we need robots. And we don't want to just fill this thing up with a bunch of robots because we just don't need them. It's just a waste of resources. And since we have 6 turrets, how about 6 robots? And this is going to be 6 robots per wall section. So we have some wiggle room in case some of the robots get blown up. Looks like we need some engines. One, two, three, four, five, 6. So we'd have 6, but also we need to have some repair packs. How many repair packs? It's kind of an obligatory number because it just depends on how much damage the robots end up repairing. Let's say 20 repair packs. Why not? See, we don't have any stone. That seems like the kind of thing that would randomly be sitting inside the truck. It's kind of annoying you have to walk all the way down here to the truck, but... oh, not enough. Is that because we're short on something? Stone. Yeah, it's a little annoying having to walk away, have the truck parked so far down there, but for the purposes of seeing the construction range, we kind of need to do that. Alright, let's swipe up some bricks. $21. Just so I don't put the partial pack in there, not that it really matters. Man, it's so far to walk. Base isn't even that big yet. Okay. No, it's not going to let me split it up. Oh, well, whatever. Boom. So let's write that down. 6 robots and 20 repair packs. And with that, we basically have all of the non-pattern items per wall section. Just to recap, 378 bricks to lay the bricks down. The reason why it's a non-pattern item is because that's a huge amount of items to have robots place, and it's super easy for us just to pick up a paintbrush or whatever and go ba 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 and just place them all. It's super easy. There's no reason for robots to do that. We need 252 ammo to fill up the belt and fill up the turret, so basically to preload the wall. And 6 robots. And 20 repair packs so they can do something. Without the repair packs, they can't do anything. Now, one thing I'm not going to do is add like replacement wall sections and turrets and stuff like that. And the reason is because we haven't unlocked it yet. And it's kind of a cluster of stuff. And I don't really see why we need to unlock all this stuff. Basically, we'd only be doing it to have provider chests. And kind of the reasoning behind that is, if wall sections are being damaged, or turrets are being damaged or destroyed, it's because we don't have enough turrets. Like, we could have replacement turrets, but they're just going to get blowed up again. So, if we find ourselves with the wall being partially damaged, we just need to, like, load up on turrets on the part of the wall that's being damaged. That's kind of the solution to that problem. So, let's see, blueprint book. We don't really need that blueprint because we were kind of just copying them individually. So, let's just pull that out of the book and erase it. Though we already had that other one, but... looks good. Let's replace this with a turret. Wow, that's a lot of a lot of choices. So the pattern items we're going to need: 108 wall, 54 belts, and those other assorted things. So that's easy enough to calculate because it's in the pattern. So that's straightforward. But, there's always a but. There's a little bit more we need to calculate. What we need to figure out now is every wall, every completed wall, is going to have a unique section to it. Not a whole section like this, so it's not worthy of a pattern. So I'm just going to get rid of this so it's not in the way. But what am I talking about here? Well, basically a way to go through the wall in case we need to. And we would do that with a couple of things. For one, gates. I think we need 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, there we go. It's kind of that light's a little in the way, but whatever. See, like, we wouldn't necessarily place the wall right here, we'd place it right here so we'd have a slightly bigger space. Because, let's see, where are some bricks? Concrete bricks, specifically. Do we have any in the truck? No. Guess I haven't picked any up yet. Let's go get some. The concrete machine should be happily chugging away at making them. Oh wow, they're all full already. Well, we do need to replace these walkways. Might as well do that here. Well, we're thinking about it. So, just pick up all the bricks. There's not a whole lot of difference between stone path and concrete path in this particular mod set, specifically because we have vehicle fuel, which dramatically improves the acceleration of vehicles that are using it. So, in the end, this is going to have a very small impact on the actual top speed of a vehicle. But it does reclaim bricks, which is kind of nice, because those bricks can be used for other construction projects. There we go. Now the problem here is that the concrete bricks stack in units of 1,000, but the stone bricks only stack in units of 100, so our inventory is going to very quickly fill up with stone bricks here. Whew, made it. How are we doing? Oh, okay. We got lots of space still. And right there. Yeah, we have this little section that we couldn't build because the proximity of the water to the concrete. I'm not sure if that's a stock Factorio thing or a mod thing, but it won't quite work. But that's okay, we could use landfill to fix it. But that's for another time. Oops, messed that up too. And also, for some reason, when you pick the concrete up, instead of being concrete brick, it just becomes a normal brick, which has, or a normal concrete section, which has substantially less uses, because you actually use the concrete bricks in building things in Bob's and Angels, so something to keep in mind. You don't want to waste too many of the bricks by just placing them down. But that's pretty good for now. We'll deal with the other pathways when we're using them. No reason to go running around right now. It's not like we're in a critical shortage of stone or anything. We're pretty good on both. But we can throw all that in there. So my idea here probably should have done this a little more carefully. Something like that. Just to mark where the door is in case we ever have to build a road or something through there. And actually, because that is concrete, and it's going to come up as concrete, regular concrete, not bricks, we can actually just pick this up the normal way to figure out how many concretes we're going to need. It's not going to be very much, so it's not really a major concern, but I'm just calculating it for completion's sake. Okay. And that leaves us with 87. So, I'm going to write down on my little notepad here, besides the unpatterned things we need, like bricks and ammo and everything, I'm also going to mark down something we're not going to pattern because it's simple enough, but something we're going to need to keep in mind. That per completed wall, we need 14 gates to cover this, and 87 concrete. But there's something else we're going to need as well. That's a radar. He'd have to walk down here. Probably don't need to do that anymore since we are already familiar. Now that I think about it, we think we're going to have to do some modifications in a second. I'll explain why. But so I might have to move the truck again. But I wanted to do that because I remember seeing a radar in the truck. Basically, every wall is going to need a radar. And the reason is, besides having a radar on the frontier to expand our horizons of Biter World, the critical thing it's going to allow is sight. So let's say we weren't at the wall right now. We would have this radar to give us this fuzzy little picture of the wall. We can't change anything, but at least we can keep an eye on, well, how much ammo do we have? Is there anything damaged? Are all the robots still there? Stuff like that. Otherwise, we'd actually have to run to the wall every single time in order to find out how much damage, if any, or how much ammo was on the wall. We'd have to run to it, and that'd be super annoying. So, every completed wall needs one radar. But it goes further than that. Because in addition to that, we actually need to get this ammo on the wall. So we would do something like this, because the wall would go to the left and to the right, so we would actually modify the belts to go the other way, which is easy enough. Something like this, and we'd have this T in here because we'd only want to put ammo on one side of the belt instead of both. And then a chest. A wooden chest would probably be fine. Steel chests take a lot of resources. 8 steel plates, which is times 4 iron plates. So 32 iron plates per chest, that's quite a bit compared to a wooden chest, which we've got tons of wood. And we just don't need the storage capacity. So something like this. Now there's going to be a negligible amount of ammo that's going to have to fill up these sections here, so I'm not concerned about that. But I would like to have some ammo on hand. So maybe like 200 ammo inside the chest. See, it's going to kind of fill up here in a weird way, because we wouldn't put ammo in until we had this set up. Let that fill up just to make it look symmetrical. Okay. So we'd have 200 ammo per wall section. Now, that's technically not very much, but I don't think we need to fill up a bunch of chests full of ammo if the wall's not actually doing any defending. So in the event that a wall is taking a lot of damage or shooting a lot of biters, we can come back and upgrade the ammo capacity. So we got some more things to write down. We need an additional 200 ammo for every gate. And we would need a loader, a splitter, and 3 yellow belt. And that would basically cover us. And there's one step further we can go with this. Let's get rid of this. Yeah, but I'm holding it, so it's not actually going to, robots aren't actually going to do anything. So let's just fill this in again, just for completion again. Oh, we don't even need that, we don't even need that there. Oh, does that reach? It does. Okay. Well, let's go in here then and get rid of that. Okay. I'm not going to worry about the bricks or anything. One other thing that this wall section is going to do, is going to require, is power. Now, we could easily just run wires to them. But you see, we're already running a lot of wires. And these walls are going to be a lot farther than these. They're probably going to be at least twice as far as our current radars. And that's not something that's easily placed by robots just because there's trees and stuff in the way, and it's just slow because you have to drive, stop, let the robots do their thing. Drive, stop. It's like similar to just walking it. So that'd be really annoying to have to walk all the way down to wherever we put our wall, putting power poles, and then walk all the way back, putting lights. And it's going to take hours to build these walls, and you could easily spend 10 hours doing this, and I want to minimize the amount of time we spend doing it. Now, you won't have to see too much of it because I'll just cut through it, but nonetheless, I kind of want to show the thought process, because these thought processes are going to apply to every construction project in the base moving forward from here, so it's important to kind of review this. So instead of running wires, we can actually power these walls with solar panels and accumulators, because their power is very predictable. You know, the only thing we really have are these lamps and the inserters, and primarily the roboports, which surprisingly enough take a ton of power. Like, it's kind of shocking how much a roboport uses. So let's do some math since we're here. Well, we have a roboport, which is the big thing, or one of the big things anyway. It's 199, let's just say 200 kilowatts. And that's per wall section. 6 blue inserters. And that's going to be 3 kilowatts. And let's say the lamps, I'm not exactly sure how much to say. Let's say 2.5 kilowatts for every lamp. Or let's just say 7 in total, since we have 3 lamps. It's not very much, you see, compared to the roboport, which is almost all of the power. Now, of course, you know, when these fast inserters are moving, they're going to consume more power, but they're not going to be moving that often, so it's not really something we need to worry about. Plus, our small power setup is going to be way more than the wall is going to need, so it's not really going to be a problem. So, if we add all of that together, we have a very simple 210 kilowatts per wall section. Additionally, each completed wall is also going to have a radar and the loader, but that doesn't actually require any power, I don't think, which is kind of the OP element of it. Yeah. And the radar is going to be 450 kilowatts. Now, we don't know how many wall sections we have, but we're going to go out and scout it in a bit, so we will know. But just as a review, our current design here produces 1090 kilowatts. But that's not usable kilowatts, that's total. That we previously calculated that we needed to remember 43%. That we have to increase our required power generation by 43%. So let's say our wall required 3 kilowatts. We don't know what it requires yet, but let's say it required 3 kilowatts. Or 3,000. Yeah, 3,000 kilowatts. We'd have to multiply that by 1.43 to account for the fact that the panels need to provide extra power during the day to charge the accumulators for nighttime. So it means that our wall requiring 3,000 kilowatts needs 4,290 kilowatts of solar panels. And then we can figure out how many blueprints because of that. So that's just kind of the quick overview of that. But that's obligatory because the amount of power generation depends on how many walls. And we need to do some scouting now. Oh, there's one other thing to cover, though. Let's pick all this up. And let the robots clean everything up. Not quite yet, not quite yet. Yeah, I'm forgetting something here. Let's fix the pattern. So this should be the identical pattern of what we recorded before. Yep, it's blue. So that's identical. Plus the bricks, but that's not a... Those aren't important. So one kind of weird thing about the blueprint, the wall blueprint, when it uses the RoboPort, is you can't rotate it 90 degrees. You can only rotate it 180. And the reason is because you can't rotate the construction RoboPort. You can only flip it. So why you can't rotate it 90 degrees, I don't know. But that's how it is, at least in my version, and I'm kind of far back. But I tried upgrading the newest version, and it kind of messed up the save, so I had to go back to the old version, so I'm probably going to be stuck with it. So if they fix that in a later version, I'm sorry, but I have to deal with it. So let's kind of change this design here a little bit, just the symbol. And let's say H for the horizontal wall. And let's record this again. Except without the RoboPort. And let's make a vertical wall. Yeah, that's pretty good. Kind of want to clear some of that stuff out, or at least that. And then we can clear that out, and then it'll move and place them all down there. How are we doing on battery power, though? Okay, pretty good. It's been sitting. I've been talking, and it's been slowly charging, but still only about halfway. But that's actually a lot of power. I kind of don't want to pick all these bricks up one at a time. It's going to be a little... Well, it's like it's going to be a little time-consuming for the robots to do it. And they're kind of busy doing something else, so I guess it's not the end of the world. Kind of pick these up while the robots are busy doing things. Okay, now they're almost done, so... I'll just pick all those up. Oh, it's because they don't fit. Because those are the extra 6 robots, I believe. Okay, so that's the completed wall. So we need to place the RoboPort in the proper spot. Let's pick that up. And to do so means moving the truck. We need to move it out of the way so we can see the construction range. See all those robots chugging away getting charged, but the batteries are barely moving because they're like 1 pixel. Went down 1 pixel because of how much power they store. See, if we didn't have these batteries, because it's nighttime, I don't know exactly how much power we'd have, but the RoboPorts would essentially run out of power, and then we would just not be able to do anything. We'd just be sitting here. So, because we have those batteries, we now can do a substantial amount of construction at night, which is rather nice. Okay, that should be out of the range, I hope. Okay, good enough. So on the design, the left part, which was up here, was the maximum range of the roboports. That's one too low, it looks like. So if we place that there, it's kind of hard to tell in the vertical. I'm not sure. Well, actually, we can test this. We can test this. Let's run some power poles real quick. Let's see if it reaches up there. Put the robots in, put the repair packs in. And switch to the shotgun. And just shoot a wall. You see, there go the happy robots doing their thing. Let's see which walls they repair. I don't think they're going to repair this top one. Oh, they did. So that means that technically reaches. So, if we put another one up here, it will not reach, correct? Wrong way. Okay, that is correct. So, let's pick up a repair pack just to get that wall section repaired so it's not clogging up the inventory. So what that means is we need to move this roboport one space lower than it is. So let's put this right here just to mark where it was. Let's see. Needs to move down one space because this fits here but doesn't. You see, it's just the picture of the roboport's a little weird. It's kind of hard to tell exactly where it is. So, right there. It's getting power, so it's good. It reaches up to where it needs to be. And that's the little extra section in the bottom, which it's supposed to have. So let's erase this. Select everything. And let's say, how about V for vertical? So here's the vertical section. And to test that it works, probably should have tested the other version, but yep. See how when there's one space, the line doesn't reach, but then when we connect it, the line does. And it's also spaced properly, it looks like, for lights, because there's one light gap like there should be. And we wouldn't place them this direction. But I guess it still works. Yep, there's a gap. I guess it doesn't really matter which direction I place it. It is the exact pattern, so yeah, it doesn't really matter. It seems good. And you see how you can rotate it this way, but not the other way, because of reasons. So let's throw those in the blueprint book. We'll worry about the power generation later. Honestly, we'd probably use the exact same blueprint we have, because it works. So I don't really see any reason to change that. That's all the time we have for today, so I'll see you at the next episode. Thanks for watching.